Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao has announced that they're going to fight at the Sphere. Do you expect anyone from either their teams to reach out to see how you guys put it together? Because this will be the first major event since you guys put on that.
Who's promoting it?
Manny Pacquiao Promotions.
Wonder who's paying for production. They're in for a big surprise. They better call somebody to figure that out.
All the news on Mayweather, Pacquiao, potentially falling apart. I mean, I have to say this, Mayweather, come on, dude. Fight a real fight. You're still trying to protect your O. Yes, you're 50-0 on paper, but people know you've lost. Your own father said you lost against me.
If this is all true, then he absolutely is in breach of contract. And he's trying to scam Netflix, of all people. Floyd, we know, is a serial scammer at this point. With the cryptocurrencies, with the Logan Paul fight. Again, I was there in Dubai for the Deji fight and what was behind.
Dana White strongly criticized Floyd Mayweather for pulling out of the rematch with Manny Pacquiao, alleging that it could be a clear breach of contract with potentially serious legal consequences, and he warned that the fallout from this situation could lead to lawsuits and significant legal trouble for Mayweather moving forward.
Stupid, and somebody else wants to do it, knock yourself out. There's not enough money in it to ruin your life and not go to jail. Go to federal.
According to reports, Mayweather signed 3 contracts tied to a Netflix-backed rematch with Manny Pacquiao, officially confirming the fight, and any attempt to reclassify it as an exhibition or withdraw from the agreement could be treated as a breach of contract, potentially triggering major financial and legal consequences moving forward.
Trying to do it to Netflix. Oh yeah, he's 100% about to get sued because Team Pacquiao says Floyd Mayweather signed 3 contractual agreements for a professional fight against Pacquiao. 3 separate agreements. They also claim Floyd Mayweather has been paid for signing these 3 agreements and has also taken out a cash advance payment on his purse for the fight. They also say Floyd Mayweather is officially in breach of contract for publicly stating this fight is an exhibition. And if this is all true, which again, this is Team Pacquiao saying this, but again, I think Mike Coppinger also reported on this. If this is all true, then he absolutely is in breach of contract.
White claimed that Floyd is allegedly avoiding the rematch with Pacquiao out of fear, suggesting that this time the fight would be completely one-sided, and he argued that Pacquiao would dominate and potentially even destroy Mayweather if they finally meet again in the ring.
I understand listen, these kids want to make some money and, you know, they do what they got to do and say what they got to say to try to, you know, to get in there and make money. This is going to be such a one-sided, ridiculous ass whooping. It's not even going to be funny. It's going to be...
Manny Pacquiao called out Floyd Mayweather, saying that both fighters signed the same contract for a real fight and that there is no reason for excuses, insisting that Mayweather should honor the agreement, stop the delaying tactics, and step into the ring as originally promised.
Manny, we know that you've got a fight against Floyd Mayweather scheduled for September at the Sphere in Las Vegas on Netflix. Floyd is being a little bit difficult right now. Are you just letting the process play out and hoping that he gets to the finish line and commits to this fight? What are your feelings on that?
No, right now my focus is on September 19 because we already both signed the contract, a real fight. So that's my focus. I don't want to be distracted with anything like that because I want to prepare. I want to get the 100% condition and mentally, physically.
Pacquiao said Floyd Mayweather's behavior is nothing new, claiming he has seen these kinds of excuses before, as he stressed that Mayweather has a history of delaying tactics and insisted he's not surprised, while urging him to stop repeating the same pattern and finally follow through on their agreement.
People say that Floyd may be playing like another game, you know, basically just trying to build up the anticipation for this fight by saying like, oh, well, maybe I'll commit to it, maybe I won't. This is typical Mayweather gamesmanship. Do you think that that's true?
What's new for me with her? Like, I mean, even in our first fight, like, it's getting hard. He's changing his mind. You know, that's not good. I mean, you need to have word of honor and commitment. You know, to honor your commitment.
You really have had the patience of a saint. We know that first time it took like 5 years at least to get Floyd into the ring.
At least 5 years to took that fight for a lot of alibis and us. So this time there's no reason for alibis or mixed excuses because we both signed already the.
Oscar de la Hoya mocked Floyd for trying to protect his 50-0 record, arguing that while Mayweather is undefeated on paper, many believe he has lost multiple fights, including their bout, and that he should stop avoiding real challenges and step up.
Father said you lost against me back when we fought. And what's crazy is that people don't know that we had a rematch clause for 1 year. And what do? Your pussy ass retires for 1 year and 1 day. Bro, ever since I got beat up by Manny Pacquiao in my last fight, I've wanted to fight every single day, but I couldn't because I wasn't right. Physically, emotionally, I just wasn't right. All that depression, all that shit that I had within my spirit. But now these last 5 years, I've put in the work, man. Woo! I did a lot of work and I feel happy. I feel at peace. And you know what? A man at peace is a dangerous fucking man. I can take on King Kong if I want and beat his ass. Shit, I'll even fight Jake.
Max Kellerman also believes Mayweather's effort to label the rematch as an exhibition is aimed at protecting his perfect record, as with age and uncertainty about winning a full competitive fight, Mayweather appears to be avoiding a real professional bout while still generating attention, interest, and significant revenue.
We've seen what's in the news, and I'm not in his pockets or anything, but he's going to make a lot of money, and rightfully so. I don't see him turning down a major payday over this, but we'll bear watching. And also, I'm told that further to that, Pacquiao has no interest in this if it's not a real fight.
If I'm Floyd, I'm not fighting unless it's just a regular. If it's a pro fight, I'm not. Why would I do it? I'm old.
Because you need the money.
I don't know if he needs. I ain't getting the man's pocket.
Assuming he does.
I don't know if he needs the money or not.
Let's assume he does. That's why he's
Let's
coming
assume,
down.
yeah.
Just assume. So, and you're going to make, I don't know, what is it? How much? What's his guarantee?
Let's
for the
assume
fight?
Pacquiao.
Give me something like $50 million.
$50 million.
Slow down for a second. Let's assume
a lot of
Pacquiao
money.
needs money too, because I heard rumors.
He probably does, yeah.
Okay, so
Not just saying Floyd.
I do assume.
I'm not just putting on Floyd.
Hold on. I don't do the rumors, so let's do them today, since y'all want to do them. They both need the money, as y'all saying. Okay. So look, we still gonna fight and make good money. It don't have to be a pro fight.
He signed a contract, though. It's executed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Netflix announced it. This is not just like, let me go.
So what does that tell you? Doesn't it kind of tip Floyd's hand that he's thinking, maybe it's possible, like I read into that a little bit and think, maybe, because I'll always bring this up, Bernard Hopkins, I was calling his fights on HBO. He fought Tavares Cloud, good light heavyweight, beat him easy, right? And he was like 49, and his body still looked like Hopkins. Then he came back a year or so later, and he fights Joe Smith. His body didn't look the same. You know, Hopkins had a Spartan training regimen. He doesn't put anything in his body. He's a temple. He eats right. He trains right.
He don't drink.
He doesn't. But his body looked, by the way, I'm 52. I can tell you, it looks different after a little bit. Even when you're trying to get in shape, just the muscles look a little different. And Joe Smith knocked him out of the ring and stopped him, right? Floyd, maybe, I'm just speculating, but maybe he says this because he gets in the gym and he's like, Floyd's what, 49 and change. He's almost 50. Maybe he's right up against that thing where it's like, man, my body's not responding the same way.
Right. Max, they're grandpops.
They old.
Grandpops.
Pacquiao looks like he got a little more in the tank.
What I'm saying,
he's a
little younger. Pacquiao's a little younger.
When you a grandpop, you think you're not the same.
People wonder why Floyd would even consider risking his perfect record when he values it so highly, and the answer appears to come down to money, as experts believe he continues fighting largely because of his extravagant spending habits and lavish lifestyle, which require him to maintain massive and consistent income streams.
Again, 5 years ago now, but that was like the initial rumblings around that fight. And what Floyd did was use Mayweather Promotions to bring them this fight and say, if you'll front us this money, we'll put this fight here. They fronted him the money. He took the money, had the fight at the Hard Rock in Miami with Fanmio instead. That was the company that put it on, Fanmio. And Logan saw none of that front end 10 mil, and the people that paid Floyd the 10 mil never saw a dime back. It's nasty work what he did. But this has been like one of Floyd's MOs, is that he leverages his fight name or his quote-unquote assets, and which is what, a lot of wealthy people do. They leverage their assets to take out bigger loans or, whatever. But Floyd does it in such a reckless way that no one ever sees return on it. He just takes money. It isn't a loan.
Dana White says he has known Floyd Mayweather for many years, going back to their early days, and understands exactly how Mayweather spends his money. So because of his long history of ultra-lavish habits and flashy lifestyle, White is not surprised by reports suggesting financial strain or possible debt surrounding Mayweather.
I go way back to the amateurs. We've known each other for a long time. I just saw him at the Celtics-Lakers game, and we talked. So we have a good relationship. We go at each other sometimes, but at the end of the day, we've known each other.
Rogan noted that Mayweather spends money like a tap, highlighting his high-end lifestyle and suggesting this could be a key factor in his continued return to high-paying fights.
Watching a car, you're down 10. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Crazy.
I remember Iran Barkley was talking about that. Iran Barkley, when he was in his prime, was hanging out with all these professional athletes, and everybody was getting diamond-crusted chains and this and that, and he was keeping up with these people. Like, you got to keep up with the Joneses. And he just found himself, like, draining all of his money. He was talking about it like that was the biggest detriment to him being able to save any money.
They trying to keep up.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny when I was listening to this conversation with Chad Ochocinco. He was talking about it. He was like,
his jewelry fake.
Yeah, he was wearing fake jewelry.
But who would know?
What's that?
Who would know? He
No
Chad
one know.
Ochocinco.
Exactly.
It's
Fake
like when
jewelry,
they look at him, like
flying economy. He was sleeping at the stadium, like, so he didn't have to pay for an apartment. So smart.
Yeah.
So.
Zab Judah, a respected veteran of the sport and one of the fighters who has shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather, weighed in on the current Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao rematch drama with an interesting perspective.
I've heard this in the past that Pacquiao wasn't looking to do any exhibitions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, if you knew. I don't know why Floyd's surprised that this is not an exhibition. I mean, you got to think anybody that want to fight Mayweather in a rematch, especially a Pacquiao or anybody up to that style, they don't want a real, something really to go down on paper. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know the language barrier that was put forth upon signing these contracts. Maybe Floyd wasn't 100% abreast of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And, it kind of slipped through the cracks that this is the real deal Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing around. And, maybe that got through the cracks. I don't know how. I wasn't there. I don't know his business. But somehow, he's saying it did. I mean, well, he didn't say that. I'm just saying I don't know how he didn't catch on that this is the real deal.
Judah suggested that the confusion over whether the bout is an official professional fight or an exhibition may simply come down to a misunderstanding, possibly even a language barrier during the contract negotiations, and he implied that if the terms were not clearly understood by both sides at the time of signing, that could explain why there is now so much public contradiction and frustration from Pacquiao's camp, which insists the fight is a sanctioned bout and claims Mayweather's recent. Comments have put him in breach of that agreement.
A publicity stunt to give some type of push to the promotion. I mean, I don't know, like when the announcement came out, I don't know if people were really too ecstatic for it.
It's something that you would, you can use to your advantage to try to push the fight. It'll let people, it'll get ears and eyes on the fight for people that didn't know the fight was happening. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Because as a consumer looking in, you're like,
listen, man, I'm a fan of both guys, and I just want to watch it and see the fight happen. I mean, I'm a fan of boxing. I should say, I'm a fan of both guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I correct myself when I'm wrong, man. You know that ASAP.
Yeah. As a consumer looking in, we're like, yo, is he like, what's the complaint? What's the problem here? Like, what are you scared of? Because is it your O? Is it your losing that O? Could be that it?
Of course. That's what it's all come down to. I mean, the O is like a 800 credit score. Globally, universally. You walk around with 800.
Some experts and industry observers believe Floyd Mayweather's recent stance, insisting the rematch with Manny Pacquiao may only be an exhibition, while publicly downplaying details, could be a calculated publicity move designed to generate buzz and controversy around the fight, as they argue that creating uncertainty keeps the matchup in headlines, increases interest and pressure on all sides, and ultimately boosts demand and viewership once the details are clarified, especially given the massive global audience expected through Netflix, while the unusual public disagreement over whether the bout is official or an exhibition has triggered legal scrutiny and heated responses from both camps, keeping fans and media heavily engaged throughout the situation.
Floyd Mayweather initially fought in 2015. Now that's a fight that many felt was long overdue. Many said that it came too late. It was the fight of the century. I'm not of the mind that it happened too late. We just had a dollars and cents conversation. When the fight was initially brought up, the numbers that they were talking and the money that was available was far less than they made in 2015. Is it prize fighting or is it prize fighting? Floyd Mayweather is rumored to have made between 250 and 300. Manny Pacquiao maybe 150 to 200. Maybe that's a 40 to 80 million conversation and a 30 to 60 million conversation for Manny Pacquiao. I think the fight happened when it was supposed to happen. What say you, Roy?
Yeah, I think it happened when it's supposed to happen for the prize, but for the legacy, no, it happened 5 years too late. Just simple as that. But like I said, he is Money Mayweather. He ain't fighting for the legacy, he fighting for prize. He said that himself. So I understand that. And I respect that because he did tell the truth about that. Anytime a man can tell the truth about that himself, and I got to respect that. He said he didn't fight for legacy, he fought for currency. So he waited 5 years to make the money go up. Very smart. I mean, for what he was doing, he did the right thing. And now, for them to come together and even get an even bigger purse on Netflix is even more brilliant. So I think, once again, he's being the brilliant guy that he is. He's one of the most brilliant guys to ever touch the sport when it comes to making money. He's the GOAT at making money in boxing. I'll never take that away from him. He's the best ever at knowing how to do things at the right time to maximize the currency.
Former pound-for-pound great Andre Ward has weighed in on the rematch, stressing that the original fight only came together after extensive negotiation and with proper arrangements and financial backing in place, as he noted that the build-up to the first bout required patience and careful planning, and he believes this rematch should be handled the same way rather than being complicated by confusion over exhibition status, contracts, and promotional statements, while also expressing hope that the fight remains a legitimate professional contest that meets fan expectations instead of being clouded by mixed messaging and an uncertain buildup.
Somebody like Floyd Mayweather, that's the oldest in the book, y'all. Y'all know. When y'all see somebody flogging money everywhere, they got this, they got that, they got this. Was it Gervonta Davis? Tank told us 2 years ago that the reason they held Floyd Mayweather, you can put it back on the screen, captive, in Dubai is because he had owed them money. And they wouldn't release him until he announced the fight to give them their money back. You know they do that over there in Dubai, right? You ain't going nowhere if you owe a debt. He was trapped over there for almost 2 months, according to Gervonta. They shared the same manager, Al Layman, who collected money in cash because Floyd Mayweather gave him a power of attorney to do so. And so when Floyd went down there and sued Showtime, he's suing Showtime, the company, the network, that publicizes.
Meanwhile, boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. argued that the rematch is coming far too late, potentially 5 years after it should have taken place, and suggested that at this stage the bout feels driven more by financial incentives than legacy, saying, while money isn't a bad thing, the timing and motives behind the rematch make it feel commercially motivated rather than about settling unfinished business in the ring.
Had a great fight of Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of seeing a great fall, potentially.
You're right,
fall.
but when you call yourself the money man, you do it to yourself a little bit too.
No, I can't argue with that, Bud, but still, you don't have to revel in somebody's problems and somebody's, misery. So, as I said earlier, so I don't like that, but I understand the world out there, and I understand putting yourself in that position. If he put himself in that position, some people will say, he's suing now because of his gambling habits, which was not hidden. It was not a secret. He would post, not Teddy Atlas talking about anything that wasn't out there. he would post some of his tickets, his betting tickets that he bet, you know, and they were large bets. And so some people say, oh yeah, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever. Look, I don't know what the truth is fully in there. I know Steven Espinoza was named. He ran Showtime at the time. He was named him. I never was a fan of Espinoza. Again, I'm not afraid to say and not mince my words when I feel a certain way. And and I've taken arrows for it, and of course I've also taken some praise for it. That people say, hey, Teddy's going to say what he feels. I was never a fan of him. I never thought he was a man that kept his word. I never thought he really did a great job over at Showtime. I mean, they put some good fights on because the fights were available, because the landscape.
Even though Floyd Mayweather Jr. appears to enjoy immense wealth, the reality behind the scenes is often far more complicated, as huge earnings do not automatically guarantee financial security, especially when hidden obligations, ongoing contractual deals, and delayed payments come into play, which are factors the public rarely sees. And according to financial analysts, these unseen pressures can build up over time and create significant challenges even for someone with Mayweather's level of success. While despite his flashy lifestyle and reputation as one of boxing's highest earners, the combination of financial commitments, legal entanglements, and business obligations can place immense strain, ultimately showing that apparent wealth does not always reflect true financial stability.
Money. What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing channel, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke. He's a gambling addict. He got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke?
Teddy Atlas says many people feel a sense of satisfaction seeing Floyd Mayweather face criticism or setbacks now because of how he built his public image over the years. And according to Atlas, Mayweather's constant flaunting of wealth made him a figure people both admired and resented, while that lifestyle, Atlas suggests, rubbed some fans the wrong way and may have also left others feeling jealous or frustrated. Now that Mayweather's career and decisions are under scrutiny, some observers say there is a backlash, with people feeling a sense of satisfaction because he spent too long showing off success without facing much public adversity. And Atlas believes this reaction is not entirely about Mayweather's boxing legacy, but more about how his extravagant persona made him seem untouchable. So seeing him in difficult situations resonates with many fans. With the Mayweather vs. Pacquiao rematch now scheduled and Netflix investing heavily to stream it worldwide, many analysts argue the comeback is driven by far more than nostalgia or pure competition, as the financial incentives are enormous, and with both fighters well past their primes, the potential payday appears to be a central factor behind the bout rather than purely sporting ambition. While Floyd Mayweather's legendary skills and undefeated record are widely celebrated, his recent career choices, including exhibition matches and returns from retirement, highlight how external pressures such as lucrative streaming deals, sponsorships, and promotional considerations increasingly influence decisions in modern professional boxing.